Welcome. Today I want to discuss Pinball FX and the games that I want to see coming to the platform. I've put a lot of time on Pinball FX. I've got dozens of hours clocked up on my Switch, and I've managed to buy all of the Bally Williams titles that they've released throughout the years. Ever since I was a kid, I started out on the Pinball Arcade playing all the Bally Williams games there. They were pumping those things out. They were releasing like at least one a month. Which was awesome. And then like 2018, I think they lost the license. Pinball FX, who was creating their own digital pinball machines, grabbed the Planetary Pinball Bally Williams license themselves and have been slowly pumping out games throughout the years. I feel like they used to get kind of criticized for being slow putting out games, although they are putting out higher quality digital recreations, you could argue. However, they were doing it at a slower pace and, for the most part, doing games that had already been on the previous Pinball Arcade platform. Although the Pinball Arcade did have like the majority of the Bally Williams kind of line up there. However, years have passed, they've finally fleshed out the library and yeah, it's pretty decent. Like, they have a hell of a lot of games on there now. Things from like Addams Family to previously now Diner is on there. And so I've been thinking, what games do I want to see? You know, like what games are at the top of my wish list? And what games do I think, like my advice for the next game picks and predictions, you could argue. What games would sell the best for them and perform the best? So this week Zen Studios announced their Williams Pinball Pack 10. Right, they've got 3 games, like most of their packs are 3 games, and they usually do kind of 2 bangers and then like a filler kind of title. And this is an interesting one. All of these games are all alphanumeric displays. We've got Diner, Comet, and Fire. Diner being A tier. Minty title. Fuck, I love Diner. And Comet and Fire being maybe a bit of a lesser title. Or more of a filler game. You know, it's not my first pick. However, not ragging on the games. I think they're very cool games in their own right. But what is interesting is that I don't believe Comet has ever had an official digital release. So I'm very excited to check out Comet because I've never come across one in the wild. This is the oldest game we've seen Zen Studios digitize, which is very exciting, and I do hope they continue to go older. I would love to see games like Black Knight, Alien Poker, Gorgar, Elgar. That would be sick. That's a real one. Alright, now that we're doing System 9s, that leaves the door open to these 2 games here. We've got Space Shuttle and Sorcerer. So there were only 3 games released on the System 9 platform. And if they're going to continue down this little System 9 route, I highly recommend and would love to see Sorcerer, without a doubt. I mean, check out this art package, bro. This game is sick. The layout is like seriously awesome. The artwork, some of the best you'll see. I believe this is Mark Ritchie on design. Absolutely killed it. This game would be so cool to see, and so we're looking at System 9s. This is top of my list. So Pinball FX have already done a lot of System 11 games. Think like Whirlwind, Earthshaker, Bonsai Run, Taxi was a recent one, and Pinbot. That kind of era, you know, there's no DMDs, but it's not still not like, but there's like a lot of ramps and there's a lot of charisma in the theming. So here's a list of games that Zen Studios hasn't put on the platform that are under the System 11 category. And most of them are unlicensed, so I imagine they're a bit easier to like legally do. However, there is still Bugs Bunny Birthday Ball, which isn't a great game, isn't really highly desired. And although it does have the Looney Tunes theme, I do wonder how well it would commercially perform for them. Like, I don't know how many they'd sell. I'd buy it, because I buy anything with the Bally Williams name on it, but I'm quite the exception there. But so I've got 3 games picked out, and from the System 11 era that I would love to see or think would do well for them, if that makes sense. I think is a good next step. So first up, we got High Speed. It's the first System 11. Not that that historic kind ofness of it matters too much. This game is sick. But like seriously, one of the best games ever made. Like if you had to ask me, like objectively, what's the best game ever made? High Speed. Like it was just like first game with like a real theme and story to it, and it's done well. Good shots, very good shots, satisfying side ramp, great rules, amazing sounds. Like just everything about it is top tier game. High Speed is just excellent, and they've already got the getaway on Pinball FX, so it kind of makes sense to do High Speed. I'm assuming getaway was pretty successful for them. Next up, this is more of a personal pick. I would love to see mousing around this game. This game just rocks, man. Great theme, you know, like everyone you see on all the forums nowadays, you know, like Stern will put out another Rock Band pin or a Star Wars pin, and I love rock and roll pins and Star Wars pins, but you get just like mandatory comments of people going like, "Where are the original themes, man? Where are the original themes?" Mousing around, bro. This is why people still want original themes. This theme is sick. The layout is sick. The multi-ball, like the lock traps, awesome. This game just fucks hard, bro. Like, and it's so cool, man. It looks good. I don't know commercially how well it would perform for them. I don't think it has necessarily that nostalgia value like a game like Taxi and Pinbot kind of do from that time, or even High Speed was a big seller. But this is a personal pick from me. I would fucking die to see mousing around, and I don't think Pinball Arcade ever did mousing around, so it might be a first, which is also very enticing. And then last but not least, for the System 11 wish list that I would love to see is Radical, bro. Like, are you kidding me? This is it, man. This game is so good. Just look at the ramps, bro. Like, seriously, look at the ramps. But like, you could release this today and it would still sell. Like, this is a pretty modern fucking layout. Like, this is some Elwin, Jack Danger fucking layout. Before its time, bro. This thing is sick. The theme is cool. Like, I think Bally had like a license with skateboarding, or whoever the fuck owns skateboarding had an agreement with Bally to do like a skateboarding pin every year. So they did Skateball in the 80s, Radical in the 90s, and I think they were going to do Tony Hawk Pro Skater in the 2000s, but Bally did go under, unfortunately. This game just fucks so hard, bro. Like, it's so good. I reckon there's appeal for it on the platform. Like, there's not many of these made. So one, it's a bit of a rarer game that people who look into the history of pinball and, you know, like, actually, like if you guys watching, you know, you're intrigued enough by pinball to go out of your way to consume content about it, outside of just playing a game that's in front of you, you know. And so when you see all these kind of rarer, sick games, you want to play them. But where are you playing a Radical? Nowhere, because there's not many of them around. Digitize this one. This would be so good. Ooh, break time. Quickly, before we get to the more 90s lists, I just want to do a little plug really quickly. If you go to my channel and click on the posts tab, you can find polls like these. So yeah, like what is Steve Ritchie's best 90s pinball machine? If you ask me, Getaway, I'd say. But if you want to answer this poll and many more, I do like 2 a week at the moment, which is crazy. Go to my channel, click on the posts tab, and start voting now. Alright, WPC, Williams Pinball Controller, I believe is the acronym. Pretty much WPC means every game released between Funhouse and Cactus Canyon. So like the entire 90s run, basically. The golden era, bro. These games were just sick. These games were nasty, bro. They shot good. They had like, just the themes were insane. The mix, like arguably, like this is where pinball like toys and mechs and innovation has peaked. You know, everyone now is doing light shows. You know, Jersey Jack will give you a concert in the box with Guns N' Roses. But fuck, man, this is where pinball like, arguably hit its just like creative peak. You know, you had the Addams Family in '92, just like best-selling game of all time. It's printing money. You know, and then they go, cool. Pat Lawler and co, blank check, give me another game please. And they put out Twilight Zone, and that thing is just like packed to the brim with crap. Mechanically dense, I would say. Anyway, enough glazing of WPC. Here we go, here's a list of all the WPC games that haven't come to Pinball FX. Starting like in chronological order, kind of got Harley Davidson all the way down to Cactus Canyon, right? So there's still a lot of games they haven't brought to the platform, although I must admit, they have done most of the heavy hitters. I'm talking Twilight Zone, Addams Family, Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was big. Pinball Arcade never got that license, and so that was the first time it had been officially kind of digitally recreated. So they've done all the big ones, you know, Midi Madness, Attack from Mars. They've got like, they've covered good ground, all the Elvira games, but there's still some hidden gems. But if you take a look at this list, there's a lot of licenses, you know, Popeye, Demolition Man, Flintstones, even No Fair, bro. The next 3 games I'm about to show you are kind of, one like kind of based on a bit of a wish list, but also what games I think they should do next. And we'll start off with like the most obvious one. Jackpot. Sick game. Awesome game if you ask me. Amazing tournament game. Amazing game. This game just fucks hard, bro. Anyway, enough glazing. So last year put out a table pack of Whodunit, Taxi and Pinbot. I believe that was it. So they've done Pinbot, and previously they've done the Machine Bride of Pinbot. So they have the first 2 games in the trilogy there. They've recently done Comet, which was the final game they needed for the Comet trilogy. So clearly, you know, they're about trilogies and completing those kind of things. Jackpot, they've already recreated Pinbot, and Pinbot and Jackpot are the exact same mechanical, physical layout. Exactly the same. The only thing that is different is like the artwork and the arrangement of lights. And like, I can understand redoing the artwork on a digital, like, you know, if they're redoing it and they're redoing the artwork, that probably takes a lot of time. But the model's already there. The game is sick. Like, they've already got the first 2 games. To me, this is a no-brainer. So, yeah. Easy one, Jackpot. Great game, makes sense. They've already got the first few games on there. Cactus Canyon, bro. So, I've never really played a Cactus Canyon. I know it was on the Pinball Arcade, so I must have played it as a little wee lad playing Farsight Studios Pinball Arcade. And like this game's been trending, man. Like, if you wanted, so this is the final game. It's the last game Bally Williams put out. So it's got a bit of a historical kind of context to that. However, means they didn't make many of them, and like, this game is worth a lot on the second-hand market. And so now that like half the pinball companies that are making real games right now are doing remakes of these 90 games, Cactus Canyon was kind of one of the obvious choices because it's highly desired. It just oozes with that Bally Williams charisma. Great art package. This is a bit more of an accessible fan layout, similar to like Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars. This one just makes sense. I'm like honestly shocked they haven't done it. And I think this one would sell well. Like, I think this would be, if you put this, you could have put this in a table pack with Fire and Comet, and it would have sold a lot better than Dyna, Fire and Comet. I'm just saying. Because it seems so obvious for them to do this one, there's no license to it. It's a highly desired game, it's a valuable game, it's a rare game. I wonder if Planetary Pinball, who has the Bally Williams rights, I wonder if they have got some agreement with the Chicago Gaming Company, who have recently remade this game physically and gone into production with it. I wonder if they've come to an agreement that there can't be any digital recreations, which would be weird. I think this one is seriously a no-brainer, and like, given the, well, has it been like 8 years they've had the license and they haven't done Cactus Canyon? Just kind of makes sense, because they've done like Circus, they've done all these, you know, they've done No Good Gophers, bro, and they haven't done Cactus Canyon. And lastly, the final game I want to see come to Pinball FX. This is a licensed one, and it's one that I want to see because I think the game is awesome, and it's not one you see very often, and it's one that has kind of had a bit of a resurgence in modern times with designers like Keith Elwin and other designers. Like, I imagine Jack Danger can be lumped into this, often crediting it for its innovation and layout, and crediting it for inspiring kind of some modern bangers like Iron Maiden, for example. We got Congo. This game is sick. Like, just look at it, bro. Sick. It's got a through the pot bumper shot. Instantly a winner, if you ask me. Cool ramps. It's got cool mix, bro. It's got a good upper flipper shot. Oh, it's just good, bro. Like, and sure, it's licensed, but you know, they've gone out of their way to grab Indiana Jones, Star Trek Next Gen, and like, you know, this wouldn't sell as anywhere near as well as Indiana Jones, but the movie wasn't a big success. I imagine they can pick this license up for cheap. If I had to be a guessing man, I would guess that this is a cheap license, and it's a good game, bro. It's so good, and again, it fits into that kind of radical Cactus Canyon kind of thing. It's a rarer game. There's not as many of them around. There's a market for people like myself who want to explore these titles that just look sick, but you just don't see anywhere. And so Congo is easily, like, that's top of my wish list from this WPC era that hasn't been already added. And you can do, like, you know, like Zen, you can add all your 3D animations to it, bro. There's a whole gorilla in there, you know, and there's like a thing where the ball like rolls across his arms. Bam, you can animate that. Done. And there's like the gorilla down the bottom in that kind of lower play field, bashing the ball. Instant effects there, bro. You're already covered. They were practically thinking of you in mind when crafting this game. Yeah, Congo, top of my list. I would love to see this come to Pinball FX. What game do you want to see come to Pinball FX? Leave a comment, I want to hear it. And while you're there, subscribe, like. I've got heaps of content in the pipeline. And make sure you check out those polls you can vote in on my channel. Alright, sweet as, we'll catch you guys in the next video.